Hello and welcome back to another Uncle Tat Creative Shack video. So in this episode I'm going to talk about trying to make, or actually I think I am going to make an improvement to my camera stand. So for the longest time I just bought this long dowel here from Home Depot and basically stuck it into this piece of wood here, just using a corresponding drill bit to drill the hole for it. As you can see, this is the other half of that dowel. It's pretty long. The idea I wanted to have, though, for the longest time, is to be able to film from above the table, just like this, and then of course zoom in. So as I'm painting or drawing or whatever I'm doing, you could watch along. But the problem is that the stand I have now, this piece here only bends so far. In fact, that's it. So that does not give you an all the way down bend. So I was thinking, how could I possibly do this? And for some reason it just dawned on me, why don't I just take the end of this and just screw it in place to the top of that. Now you'll be able to have a bend that can go directly vertical, or be able to look directly vertical, and actually be able to also move. And of course you can zoom in with the camera. Camera functions itself, so you don't have to worry about making this slide up and down. The main rod here, you just have to worry about putting it in, bolting it into a place that you feel comfortable with. As far as moving the camera back and forth, this clamp mechanism, very simple. You can just unclamp it and slide this whole piece back and forth to get the actual position you want to be in. So all I really want to do, and I'm hoping this is pretty simple, is to be able to put a drill bit or drill straight through both of these pieces here. And I think I'm going to flatten the connecting sides of both of them with some sandpaper, and then put in a simple system like this, which is just a Phillips head screw with a nut and a pair of washers. I think it should just be a simple system like that. Basically, I'm going to try to, well, carve away a little bit of the wood where the two pieces match, and then using a little bit of sandpaper and a solid block, go ahead and sand the mating surfaces. And then that way, when you bolt them together, it'll have a nice strong bond, and it won't, because both of these dowels are rounded, and that's not going to create a good tight lock. So let's go ahead and get that going. So here I am trying to mark out the spots on the wooden dowels where they're going to meet, and that way I can sand the mating surfaces flat. So we'll say there and there, just trying to mark those areas. Then what I'm doing is just taking an X-Acto knife, and I'm just going to whittle away some of the wood. And actually I think this is a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I wasn't sure how dense these dowels were, but it's pretty easy. It's just a number 11 X-Acto blade. And the reason why I'm doing this is because the dowels are round, and when you want two round surfaces to come together, you want to create a flat spot somewhere where they will make a solid connection. I'm just going to peel off some of the sticker on this. I have tape wrapped on the end of these because of the hole I drilled into the base. Is just a slightly bit larger than these dowels are. I wasn't sure about getting them perfect, but then I can wrap tape around it to make a snug fit. So there we go. And as you can see, this would definitely benefit if I had a camera mounting system that was like this. Then you could exactly see what I'm trying to do. But instead, I don't have one of those. So here you see I've started to whittle away some of that wood there in between those marks. And now I'm going to do the same thing to the other piece. So we've got the two marks right in here. And we'll just try to gently this will also help when I drill the holes for the screw. And this one's a little bit more dense. As I drill the holes to put the screw in place, I'll have a flat surface on the wooden dowel so the drill bit doesn't wobble. Yeah, so I'm right over here just trying to cut some of this apart. Again, top-down view would be great for this. And it's, yeah, not seeing too much just yet. So then there's sandpaper. This is just some 60 grit coarse sandpaper. None of this process has to be absolutely perfect. I mean, it is just a, let's try to get around this way maybe. We're just trying to rough up the edges, make them a little bit flatter, and see if I can get that in there for you. Okay. And that's actually why I got this wooden block here. Yeah, this will make it a lot easier. Okay. Let's see. Let's say top-down view. There, you can see the notch starting to come together. .60 grit sandpaper works pretty good on this wooden dowel. Probably any piece of wood, I would imagine. So now we need to do the same thing on this dowel. Let me slide that into the camera frame here. So right in here, it's the same thing. Okay, we don't have to saw to town on this thing, just enough. So the idea, if I can get this into the camera, the idea is that you'll have two surfaces that are flat. There we go. They're flat together, so I can pinch this and these dowels aren't moving because the two flat surfaces are pressing against each other. That's what you want. If it was still round on both sides, it would be really hard. You know, you'd definitely get one to, they would roll off of each other. So, next up, and there's my two, and I just left a little bit on the end of this so that I always have the option of putting this dowel back into the bottom of the base. I always like having options. So the next step is to get a hole drilled through both of these that will accept this screw, washer, nut assembly. And for that, I usually start off with a real small drill bit just to poke a hole, and then I will widen it out with a drill bit that's more appropriate for the size of that screw. So now I have my two holes marked out with a pen, and I don't want to drill into my table, so I've got this piece of wood behind it, the one I used for the sanding. And let's see. Yep, and it's successfully drilled into the wood, so I know it's all the way through. There we go. Both of those are drilled all the way through. So I'm going to take out the marking drill bit, and hopefully, yep, this one looks about the right size. Looks about. Yeah, I don't do anything by exacts. I do it by looks about. Okay, that one went all the way through, definitely. And I can tell that one definitely went all the way through as well. Okay. So we'll just test and see if this will actually work. I'll just undo the screw and the washers and whatnot. He is a snug fit. In fact, actually, I want to use another drill bit that's a little bit bigger, as that one is, but that's okay. I'd rather go with small ones and work my way up than just try to lodge a giant one in there and break the wood. So we'll come back with another one. Yeah, we'll come back with this size, which looks about appropriate. We'll go ahead and make these a little bit bigger. See, that's why I need a better camera stand. Here we go. Okay. So it's looking like even that one is a really tight fit. So what I'm going to try putting the drill bit in, the Phillips head in. Try to put the Phillips head into my drill. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, I'm actually happy with that. It goes in. Very difficult to do this without a proper camera stand. Alright, so next up we'll just make the two pieces. Okay, so now the two pieces are screwed together. And as you can see, that's just a simple nut washer. The two areas I made that were flat on the inside, that helps actually keep tension on this unit. As you can see, it's, see if I can get back for you far enough, it's pretty large. Okay, but this is what we want to do. We want to have something that's really big that I can mount my camera to and give you above shots when I'm doing stuff. That's exactly what I wanted. So it was just a simple drill a hole through there, you know, the machine screw, washer, nut, and now get the base. The base is just some pop square 2x36x3 ply. I've used this for different projects, so this is like a scrap piece. And then the bottom, let's see, gets right in there. And the tape makes it wedge in there pretty good, actually. So there's the whole assembly. Okay. Then, and I'm not sure, here's the other piece. So this is the piece that actually holds the camera to everything. It's got its clamp. So that, and I'm going to put this on the floor, it's pretty tall. There. So that will just come all the way over here. And so hard to do it with one hand. Okay. Now you can slide it up and down this bar anywhere you want it to be. And that's going to make, it was very simple. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. So now the camera will mount up under there like that, giving you complete downward shots. So the remaining of this, now this gets clamped to my base because obviously this would be extremely top heavy at this point. But yeah, it's very simple, very easy technique to do that. So now I'll be able to give you videos from above. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.